It resonates in the hearts of lovers of God all across the world and all across our nation to gather not around just a speaker or a platform or a well-known celebrity Christian, but they gathered around the presence of God, and God did remarkable things. What just happened on the National Mall was actually unprecedented. 58 tents covering the mall. There was one tent for every state, and the nation mobilized together. Over 1,600 worship and prayer teams from every state in America came together for 4 days. It was 24-hour worship, music, prayer, and proclamation of the gospel. And the atmosphere of Washington, D.C. was shifting during those 4 days. It was one of the busiest weekends of the year, Columbus Day weekend in Washington, D.C. Hundreds of thousands of tourists come together, and they were walking onto the National Mall past tent after tent after tent after tent after tent, and tens of thousands of people were confronted with the love of God. This was a bold, audacious, visible expression of Jesus' worth at the center of our nation. We're hearing stories right now of the power of God responding to the prayers of the saints. One lady was running an ice cream truck, and she was selling ice cream and telling everyone about what was going on at the event and sharing Jesus with them. And 53 people just from the ice cream truck gave their life to Jesus. One girl I met just recently, she was at the gathering, never experienced worship like that in her entire life, was deeply being touched by Jesus in a very personal way, but she had scars all over her body from self-harm. And one night, speaker Todd White stands up and says, God is going to heal people from wounds related to self-harm. And he says this, and all of a sudden she feels the presence of the Lord. She actually feels like a hand on her back. And she looks at her scars, and the Lord had taken away all of her scars. We're hearing testimonies from people in places of power. They had encounters with Jesus, gave their life to him, got saved, and experienced God touching them in remarkable ways because the atmosphere of Washington, D.C. shifted. We saw teams in regions finding one another. In fact, in various states, we're hearing the stories now that they met each other at Awaken the Dawn, and now gatherings and movements and expressions of worship and prayer are being birthed all across America. This was a staging ground. It was never an end game. Imagine with us what America will feel like if there were 3 days where there were tents in every single state and hundreds of campuses, and the kingdom of God, his beauty and his worth was filling our nation. We are going to tent America in 2018. This is going viral. We need you to stand with this movement right now. A couple of ways you can stand with us. Number one, get on awakenthedawn.org, sign up for Tent America. Number two, we need to raise $1 million in 2018. We are looking at a gathering of the praying, worshiping, creative, God-loving people across this nation that really has never happened like this before, and it will touch millions of people. It's a rescue mission to a generation. We have to have a third great awakening. We're asking you to stand with us financially so we can release the national sound that calls America together, not around Awaken the Dawn, but around Jesus' beauty, around Jesus' word, and the presence of God. Jesus is orchestrating something in our nation. What if millions got